For decades, Ron Howard seemed untouchable, a figure of steady charm and unwavering professionalism. Behind his gentle smile and legendary career, however, there were battles he kept hidden. Painful memories, regrets, and family crises quietly shaped him. Only recently has he spoken openly about these struggles, revealing challenges far heavier than the public ever imagined. From a childhood in the limelight to the pressures of directing blockbuster films, Ron's story is not just one of success. It's a narrative of resilience, loss, and the heavy cost of a life spent performing under constant scrutiny. A childhood in the spotlight. Ronald William Howard was born on March 1st, 1954, in Duncan, Oklahoma, into a family of performers. His parents, actor Rance Howard and actress Jean Spiegel, immersed him in a world that balanced creativity with discipline. By 18 months, Ron had appeared in Frontier Woman, unknowingly committing to a life under constant public gaze. His family moved to California in the late 1950s, seeking television opportunities. While other children played outdoors, Ron memorized lines and navigated film sets. This early immersion gave him skill and recognition, but also isolated him, leaving him to grow up in a golden cage of childhood responsibility and public expectation. Opie Taylor, Innocence on Display. Everything changed in 1960 when The Andy Griffith Show premiered. At 6, Ron became Opie Taylor, America's symbol of childhood innocence. Behind the scenes, though, he was a quiet boy, studying in small rooms near Stage 40 at Desilu Studios. His father, Rance, protected him from the pressures of fame while guiding his performance toward honesty over charm. The show gave him recognition, yet it also confined him to a role he couldn't escape. Though the audience adored him, Ron carried invisible wounds, learning early that performing meant sacrificing parts of his own childhood to meet the expectations of a nation. Hidden anxieties behind the spotlight. Ron's early years were a mix of accomplishment and fear. On the set of The Music Man in 1962, at just 8, he panicked over a dance routine, whispering to Shirley Jones that he couldn't perform. The production accommodated him, filming from angles that hid mistakes, while audiences praised his confidence. These moments of hidden anxiety shaped his approach to life and work, outward composure masking inner struggle. By the time The Andy Griffith Show ended in 1968, Ron had lived 8 years in an adult-like emotional state, navigating fame while missing the freedoms most teenagers enjoyed, a dynamic that would follow him for decades. Richie Cunningham, repeating history. In 1974, Ron joined Happy Days as Richie Cunningham, cementing his status as America's dependable boy next door. Though the world adored him, Ron felt trapped in another identity. Playing a teenager in a changing society amid the Vietnam War and evolving youth culture, he felt invisible and frustrated. Requests to incorporate real-world issues were rejected, deepening his sense of confinement. The show, while successful, became a symbol of his struggle to reclaim his own voice. By 1977, he realized that if he wanted authenticity, he needed control over his work, a realization that would ultimately lead him behind the camera. Directing. Escape through creativity. Ron's escape came in 1977 when Roger Corman offered him a chance to star in Eat My Dust and direct his own film. The resulting project, Grand Theft Auto, co-written with his father, was a chaotic success, showing him the power of creative control. For the first time, he experienced freedom, shaping a story entirely his own. Yet, control brought pressure. Each subsequent project, from Night Shift to Cocoon, demanded perfection. Success was both a reward and a burden. as studios relied on him to deliver flawless results. The very control he sought would later become a source of exhaustion and stress, a paradox of achievement and strain. Perfectionism at any cost. By the 1990s, Ron was directing critically acclaimed films, including Apollo 13, where he pushed himself to extremes. He filmed 612 zero-gravity sequences on NASA's Vomit comet, each lasting just 23 seconds. Mission control was recreated meticulously with real equipment. He worked 18-hour days for 90 straight days, leading to complete physical and mental burnout. When he collapsed on set, production paused for 36 hours, highlighting the cost of relentless perfectionism. While his crew's loyalty remained unwavering, Ron recognized the danger of his obsession. Success demanded precision, yet the price was a personal toll he could no longer ignore. The weight of family sacrifice. Despite his career achievements, nothing haunted Ron more than choices that affected his family. In 1991, while shooting Far and Away in Ireland for 6 months, he left his wife Cheryl to care for their newborn twins and young daughter alone. Upon returning, he faced emotional distance. Children who barely recognized him, a wife exhausted from single-handedly managing the household. In 2025, Ron admitted that moment broke something inside him, teaching him that success means little if it costs the relationships that matter most. Subsequent lapses, such as during Cinderella Man reshoots in 2005, reinforced the same painful lesson. Learning the cost of saying yes, Ron reflected that much of his life was spent saying yes. To studios, to directors, to perfection. The drive to exceed expectations left him little room to nurture personal relationships. Over decades, he began realizing that every award or hit film could not replace moments lost with his children. Quietly, he shifted priorities, stepping back from long projects, declining extended location shoots, and allowing Imagine Entertainment to operate independently so he could focus on home life. At 71, with a $200 million legacy, Ron recognized that protecting family required choices that fame and accolades never demanded. Clint Howard, a brother's lifeline. While Ron often highlighted his wife and children, his bond with younger brother Clint Howard remained central. They grew up together on sets, navigating childhood under bright lights and constant scrutiny. Clint's presence provided comfort amid isolation, a rare sense of normalcy in an extraordinary world. As adults, however, Clint struggled with addiction during the 1980s. Ron confronted him with an ultimatum in 1990: seek help or risk losing the relationship. Clint chose rehabilitation, a decision later celebrated in their memoir, The Boys. This chapter of their lives underscores that for Ron, success was intertwined with the health and well-being of those closest to him. Emotional reckoning. Ron's recent admissions reveal a lifetime of silence and self-reliance, finally giving way to vulnerability. He has re-evaluated his priorities, stepping away from exhaustive projects and choosing to be present at home. The quiet moments, family meals, conversations, and shared time have become central to his daily life. He acknowledges that for decades he focused on telling the world's stories while neglecting his own. Facing his brother's illness has made the cost of those choices painfully clear. Even a lifetime of awards and acclaim cannot outweigh the value of moments with family, a truth Ron Howard embraces with newfound clarity. Reflections on a life in Hollywood. Ron Howard's journey is a story of extraordinary talent shadowed by invisible struggles. From early childhood on film sets to blockbuster directing, perfectionism and pressure shaped him, but family and love defined him. The quiet battles, sacrifices, and regrets reveal a man who mastered the art of storytelling while navigating personal loss and hidden anxiety. Today, he prioritizes presence over accolades, relationships over recognition. His story reminds us that even the most admired figures carry unseen burdens, and that true success is measured not in fame or fortune, but in the people who stand beside us throughout life's challenges. The true measure of legacy now. At 71, Ron Howard's reflections carry weight beyond Hollywood. He has achieved professional milestones that few can match, yet he values moments with his family above all. He has learned that vulnerability, honesty, and attention to loved ones define a life well lived. Facing Clint's health challenges, he confronts the fragility that no fame can shield. In embracing this truth, he offers a reminder that personal connections are the ultimate measure of achievement. Ron's journey is not just a Hollywood story, it is a testament to resilience, love, and the courage to face one's own humanity.